Welcome to the Cruise Retreat Podcast. Hi, I'm Rita Perez, and I'm a travel advisor specializing in, you guessed it, cruise ship retreats. This podcast is for service-based entrepreneurs and corporate decision makers to learn more about staying everyone's favorite company with a cruise ship retreat. Ready to increase your client or employee retention? Listen in on this week's show. Welcome back, everyone. It is day 4 of the Cruise Retreat series. How are you guys doing? I'm hoping that these bite-sized podcasts haven't totally overwhelmed you, but if they have, go ahead, take a break, and then come back whenever you're ready to accumulate more of this amazing knowledge. We are talking about the curriculum, and included in the Cruise Retreat Toolkit, there are sample agendas and agenda templates so that you can get an idea of your cruise agenda and get the resources that you need to go ahead and start planning that out. So there are 4 main days that you need to plan out for. That's Embarkation Day, the day where everybody is excited to be going on the cruise. You have Sea Days, and Sea Days are going to be perfect for when you're in session. Your Port Days, that's going to be great for bonding time at excursions. And Disembarkation Day is the sad day because we have to get off the ship and go home. So as you can tell, I am talking more about retreats at sea because it is going to be a little bit different doing a retreat on the river. River retreats aren't going to have so much education as a retreat at sea will just because of the timing. That's something to note if you had been debating which one that you wanted to do. Let's get a little bit into each of the different day types. I want to start off, of course, with the bad news type stuff. I'm one of those. So let's talk about Disembarkation Day. There's a couple different methods for disembarkation as the group leader. You can do it as everybody kind of just leaves on their own when they like, or you can go ahead and maybe plan a farewell breakfast in one of the dining rooms all together and then send everyone on their merry way. So depending on how you want to do it, I know usually for the corporate type retreats, everybody is kind of okay, we've learned everything. Now I just want to get home and relax a little bit. But I feel like maybe for the small business, it might be more beneficial to do a farewell breakfast just to say thank you for coming and wish everyone safe travels for when they do return home. So switching gears, we're going to go in the opposite direction to Embarkation Day. One of the important non-negotiables that you need to be aware of for Embarkation Day is the muster drill. There is so much that is going to be happening once you get on that ship, so much awe and wonder and discovery. But everybody does need to simmer down because there is a very important safety drill that happens. Now, cruise lines, I think, will be transitioning to a new model of muster drill. Typically, the muster drill is around 3 p.m. for most cruises. And at that time, everybody would be called to go to their muster stations, take in the safety briefing, and then go on their merry way. What cruise lines are trying to transition to is that people would be able to do this safety briefing more on a leisure basis. So pretty much when you have access back to your cabin, you're going to be able to complete the safety briefing there in your cabin. There's going to be a video on the TV that you can view. From there, you do need to report to one of the muster stations just to verify that you've played the video and everybody's listened to it and understood that. Everybody has to go through this, so you can't skip out of it. It is for everybody's safety in case something should happen, which usually nothing happens, but you just never know, knock on wood. Moving on, we have our port days. Port days are so much fun for obvious reasons. You're in a different country, you're in probably a new country that you've never been to before, so everybody can go in their own separate groups, or maybe you can do a group excursion all together. But this is downtime. Could you do a little bit of education? Yeah, you can do maybe a couple hours, maybe 2 hours in the morning before everybody goes out to port and then set everybody free. Or if you're on a longer cruise, a couple extra days, this would be really great for just giving everybody a break, especially if you have your team on board. Just say, hey, we are going to cut in between our education sessions and you are allowed to meander wherever you like. And then our sea days, well, this is like where we get the meat of the planning, because most, if not all of the sessions will be happening on your sea days, just because, yes, the cruise line does have activities for you, but people are here to learn something. They're either here to learn a little bit more about what's going on strategically for the company for the end of the rest of the year, or they want to learn something from you as a small business owner on a small business retreat. So different types of meetings that you can do are like a keynote, something like big and motivating. You can do breakout sessions where different groups kind of break out amongst different rooms around the ship. You can do rotations, that would be kind of like breaking out but in the same lounge. You could do different mastermind sessions like for small businesses, and this would be really awesome like if you're trying to do one-on-ones as well. Crafting or any sort of demos, like if you have a cooking demo, if you're a cooking business. Also beneficial for both the corporate and the small business side, you could do individual or group coaching, which this is going to be really great on the corporate side if you're one of the like C-level executives. Getting some coaching one-on-one time with someone who's a little less down on the totem pole. Another important thing to think about is food. Mealtime is extremely important. Dinner time on a ship is no less important. For the other types of meals, breakfast and lunch, everybody's kind of like going on your own, but dinner is a really great time to get everybody together. I wouldn't make like a mandatory dinner session with everyone, but that is a really good time that you can spend with the group, or even like incentivize dinner time with maybe like a specialty dining offering. Most of your meals are included, but if you did want to do a specialty, that is at a fee. And there's multiple venues for both complimentary and specialty dining. Really, the world is your oyster on a cruise ship. Now, you might want to hold off fully planning your preliminary agenda to see what the surprise and delights are that we talk about tomorrow. These are different things that you can add in that will help increase that bonding that is going to be happening on the cruise ship retreat. So that is all for day 4. I can't wait to join you here for our last day, Captivate. We're going to learn some fun stuff. As always, if you have any questions, please let me know, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for joining me on the Cruise Retreat podcast. Please subscribe and leave the show a rating on your favorite podcast platform. And don't forget to take a look at the show notes for important information and links. See you next week.